Ben Simmons hasn't participated in an NBA game in over a year, and there's still many unanswered issues regarding his position. Simmons' shot confidence was so severely damaged that he passed up a clear-cut dunk opportunity which ended his time in Philadelphia. Now the player has joined Steve Nash and is being trained in a new manner in which is going to help revamp his career, so let's find out more about the player. Firstly, Steve Nash's exciting career. He's regarded hands down as one of the best point guards the NBA's ever seen. The legend's actually a Canadian-based player. Even though he was born in Johannesburg, he's probably regarded as one of the most significant players in NBA history and one of the great masters at the sport. He was employed by the Phoenix Suns as a free agent in 2004 to oversee Mike D'Antoni's run-and-gun system. In 2005 and 06, Nash earned the NBA Most Valuable Player award, and he likely would have done so in 07 again if it weren't for worries that he was receiving too much attention. But Nash winning streak was brought to a slow halt as he regretted a broken leg in the second game of his 2012 to 2013 campaign. This marked the beginning of the downfall of his career. Despite his low efficiency and league average play, he still manages to play in 50 games. The preseason excitement around the Lakers playing again was extreme, but they were disorganized and most of their players suffered injuries, which finally caused the team to be eliminated from the playoffs that year's first round. The following year, Nash played in just 15 games due to complications from the broken leg. Nash's decision to sit out the whole 2014-15 season due to a reoccurring nerve injury in his back was announced by the Lakers, and in March 2015 he finally announced his official retirement from the NBA, but he was too valuable of a player to be let go, so the NBA decided to keep him on. He started working as a part-time consultant for the Golden State Warriors despite having no prior NBA coaching experience. Next up, a look into Ben Simmons' life. Simone committed a competing in the National Collegiate Athletic Association for colleges in the US by signing an NLI, and he started playing for the Louisiana State University in 2014. He was a member of the East team for the 38th McDonald's All-American Game and was the recipient of 3 national honors. He appeared to be a bright and promising NBA prospect for players his age. Simmons even mentioned in an interview that playing for the league was his lifelong goal. He contributed to the Eagles' 28-1 record, which earned them a spot in the high school national tournament. He was voted the 3-day tournament's MVP shortly after helping the Monteverde Academy win the high school national tournament for the 3rd time in a row. He began his debut season with the LSU club with a victory. He received the league's Freshman of the Year award. At the end of the campaign, the LSU team regular season was thought to have not been very encouraging. Their performance in the postseason SEC tournament was disappointing, and Simmons was unable to guide the LSU Tigers to the NCAA tournament. More on Simmons as he joined Philadelphia 76ers. Ben Simmons, former LSU star, had a question mark over his shooting when he joined the Philadelphia 76ers as the team's first pick in the NBA draft since they selected Allen Iverson in the 1990s. After playing a power forward at LSU, it was obvious that Simmons would become a point guard in the NBA. Many, however, question whether or not Simmons could function as the point guard in the NBA due to the fact that he hardly ever attempted three-pointers when playing in college. In his first season with the Sixers, Simmons averaged 15 points and 8 assists, demonstrating his offensive value despite lacking three-point shooting. For the following 2 seasons, Simmons averaged 16.1 points and 7.8 assists per game. In the middle of the 2019-2020 NBA season, former Sixers head coach Brett Brown pushed Simmons to start making more three-pointers. Simmons received public encouragement from Brown to attempt at least 1 three-pointer per game, but he wouldn't follow up on his promise and only made 7 three-point attempts throughout the 2019-20 season. Many anticipated that Doc Rivers, who replaced Brown, would finally close in on the 3-time All-Star and persuade Simmons to routinely hit his deeper shots. Rivers, meanwhile, frequently asserted that Simmons' three-pointers is the least of his concerns. In 58 games during the 2020-21 season, Simmons attempted just 10 threes. The Sixers had hoped that Simmons would be willing to take such long jumpers to help with their half-court spacing issues, but the star guard remained reluctant. Finally, Simmons' fresh start with Steve Nash. Many thought the starting again with the Brooklyn Nets would provide Simmons with the opportunity to develop his all-court shooting without having to deal with the criticism that occasionally overwhelmed him with Philadelphia. It might make a difference if the head coach offers encouragement for Simmons to comfortably extend his range, but it appears that Nets head coach Steve Nash will adopt a similar strategy to Rivers. Nash remarked on Simmons' flexibility and noted his uniqueness. Nobody cares whether Ben ever attempted a jump shot since it was not what makes him so amazing. He is allowed to, but there really isn't what makes him unique. week, and the team doesn't need him to do that either. But with the right training, he's developing into a fantastic teammate. The Nets, unlike the Sixers, don't need Simmons to take shots from all over the court because Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are their two top scorers. The Nets also have access to high-volume three-point shooters like Seth Curry and Joe Harris. Nash is correct that Brooklyn needs Simmons' unique skill set rather than a changing version of him, but the young All-Stars won't benefit much from the head coach's lack of support for his shooting. The former Sixers draft pick ought to flourish in Brooklyn as a playmaker, but Simmons might have another season where he falls short of scoring potential. In other related news, Steve Nash and Kevin Durant reconcile. Coach Steve Nash of the Nets maintained he was not at all sure Kevin Durant really wanted him fired or worried about off-season claims that he did when the team's training camp got underway. On the first day of camp, when asked about how did he teach a player who tried to undermine him, Nash compared it to a family argument that could have been resolved with some honest discussion. Nash replied and confirmed that there is no problem. It seemed like nothing has changed since they last spoke, as he's known Kevin for a very long time. According to him, families face challenges. Their brief encounter is now, hopefully, in the past. The reality seems to be that they were able to talk and discuss what would be improved from last year while trying to keep a valuable perspective. The team went through a ton of stuff which should bring them closer. Between Nash and Durant, there has been a long-standing bond. When Nash's playing career, the Lakers, was coming to an end, and Durant was with the Thunder, they began working out together in 2014. While Durant was playing for the Warriors, Nash was employed by Golden State as a player development consultant after he retired. Up next, 2023 NBA simulated drafts. The 2003 NBA draft cycle will begin this week in Las Vegas with a two-game series between the top two projected picks, Scott Henderson of the G League Ignite and Victor Wembanyama of France. However, there is also a lot of enthusiasm surrounding the many prospective categories, which are primarily comprised of college freshmen. Scouts are already studying 2021-22 tapes of the events to find potential breakout candidates for the future season, finishing with Shaquille O'Neal possibly partnering with Jeff Bezos. Since Sun owner Robert Sarver stated last week that he would be selling the team, a huge list of individuals have been mentioned as potential bidders. Shaquille O'Neal, the NBA legend, has been added to that list with one condition. O'Neal said that he first had to express interest in buying a controlling stake of the team, but that prospect quickly became exceedingly improbable once Jeff Bezos and other wealthy individuals were rumored to be interested in purchasing said team. The Big Diesel, who spent 2 seasons in Phoenix in the latter part of his career, has disclosed he would be open to participating in a possible Bezos bid in a less substantial way, but as far as we can see, O'Neal seems to be afraid of Bezos when it comes to having managed an entire team by himself. A number of wealthy individuals, including Larry Ellison, the creator of Oracle, and Lauren Powell Jobs, the widow of the late Steve Jobs, have been suggested as potential buyers, including Bezos. But that's a wrap for this video, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. We would love to hear from you, and we'll see you in the next one.